Hello, Morrowind world. This is your Morrowind mod showcasing host, my Morrowind. And we're going to have another nice little walkthrough and talk through of modding Morrowind. So, I'd like to start out with kind of going more into detail about how to actually mod your Morrowind. Now, I'm using OpenMW, but I wanted to show you guys some potential issues that can arise when you mod Morrowind. Let me change the time. I'm going to kind of like advance the time here. Oh my gosh! That's never fun to wake up to. Gosh. How would you like to, have your sleep disturbed like that? With the Kajudi, sniffing up your you-know-whatches. So anyway, let me use my invisibility spell so I'm not attacked every 5 seconds, as usual. Well, okay, so, what are we talking about? I wanted to go into load order. Why? Because load order is very important. Now, as I've mentioned, I am using OpenMW, so I don't know about MGXE, whatever, but I use OpenMW, and as you can see, I have a pretty stable game. My game's never crashed on me, honestly, maybe once, but it wasn't even like a real crash. It just like kind of like exited, and then but my game was still active running in the background, and I just clicked on it and my progress was still there and stuff. But anyway, look at the frames that I get out in the open world. That's possible with OpenMW, and I have a decent computer, but it's not like super great, and as you can see, my game looks really good. But I'm going to take you over here to show you what a mesh conflict looks like and why load order is important. This is what happens when your load order is wrong or bad. And what does that actually mean? So let me pause this really quick. So in OpenMW, what you do is you install Morrowind onto your computer. Then you install the OpenMW software on it, and this is what it looks like. You direct your OpenMW towards your Morrowind main game, and in it you have your data files, which include all of your mods. Now, the mod in question that I've showed you, the mesh conflict that I've showed you, I haven't actually quite figured which mod that is. For example, what the specific mod is, but another example that I do know of is, for example, this one here, RR Ghostgate. I have loaded it below this one up here, the Adventurers Guild. So if you have any interest in downloading either of them, and I'll show you both of those, it must load below Adventurers Guild. Otherwise, it creates a mesh conflict like this. And this can happen to a lot of different mods. Now, this mesh conflict isn't that big of a deal. I never come over here. I don't even know where this house came from, Dagger's Cottage. I don't remember which mod this is from, but it's obviously whatever this mod is. And the fix is very simple. I would just have to move that mod most likely to the bottom of my load order. So it'll be the last thing that loads, and that usually fixes the issue because it's conflicting with something else. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and let you know. In the future, I'll give more examples. But moving onwards and upwards, let's go check out this other cool mod, the Kummu Monastery. Yes, the Kummu Monastery. So we are currently in the Ascadian Isles region. This is where we are. And we're going to walk along the road and Gotta love that sun. We're gonna walk up through the Kummu Monastery. It's a mod that has a tribunal architecture. You just go on up into it. It's a nice little place to kind of come over and hang out. And just maybe look out. Just think. The cool thing about OpenMW is you can also change the draw distance. 10 is the max. From my experience, there's no practical difference between 6 and 10. So if you want to max it out, put it on 6 and save some, RAM. But I never do that anyway because I don't need to. If I need to see something, I might do it as much as 4. But when I'm actually playing the game, I feel like 2 1/4 is good enough for me. So I just leave it there. Let's go inside here and let's check it out. This nice little temple with statue of Vivek. Cool. And just around the backside, we're going to take a look at another mod. You know what? Let me go invisible because I don't want to have to deal with this fire-breathing. 2 fire-breathing cliff racers. Maybe you guys haven't seen my other videos, so let me showcase. Oh my gosh, there it is. Fireballs. But oh man, he died. Oh, because I have a reflect spell. And I also have a lightsaber, so I'm just pretty much the man when it comes to my Star Wars themed Morrowind. But anyway, the other mod that I'd like to showcase for you is Kagrekhan. Oh my god, more fireballs. Let me deal with this cliff racer here, people. They actually have a cliff racer mod that changes the skin, and I didn't really like it. I felt like the OpenMW one looks good enough. I don't need to go crazy. I'm a minimalist when it comes to modding, and I don't want to go crazy. But in any case, that's not what I want to show you. I want to show you Kagrekhan. So it's this ancient Dwemer city, just right behind Mirandus. Here we are on the map. But in Kagrekhan, there is a rail system. Oh, look at that. So here's some more like little minor mesh conflicts. Floating grass. But these modders, they do such a good job putting their heart and their soul into it. They can't possibly find every little thing. Some of these things are they're so minor. And you know what? Let me show you an example. If you ever find something like this and it bothers you, and this doesn't have anything to do with load order either. This is just, I can tell that this is probably just like, dare I call it, poor craftsmanship on the modder side. But, not a big deal. I'm not knocking them. What you can do is console command, click the item, and I just do disable. Bye-bye. So if it bothers you that much, and you can save your game, and it will, stay like that. And it's not going to hurt your game. It's not going to break the game. But that's what's cool about modding Morrowind is it has a lot of like customizability. For example, my lightsaber mod, it's from the Vader mod on Nexus. But as you can hear, the wow 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 sound, like that's not the original sound file. I actually got the sound file for the lightsaber sound effects from the Starwind mod, which is like a complete overhaul mod of Morrowind. It's actually a completely different game. I've not played it, but the sound files for the Vader mod weren't. I didn't think, at least for the draw sound, it's the same, but the wave sound is different. And then when I put the lightsaber away, that comes from Starwind 2. And I just changed the names to the file, changed the name of the files to the ones that are in the Vader mod, so they're directed correctly. But you know, I can give you an example of that maybe in the future. But you know, that's the cool thing about Morrowind, that I didn't feel like you could do. I haven't really modded or played Oblivion, or played modded Oblivion. I've played Oblivion, obviously, but I've played and beaten Oblivion once, and that's about enough for me. Like, I've played and beaten Morrowind probably, like, I don't even know how many times. Skyrim, I haven't even finished beating. I kind of, like, just started playing it, and the first time I played Skyrim, I couldn't even, like, I probably played for an hour, not even, and I was like, I can't play this. The game looks horrible. I mean, they took everything away. Like, I feel like they've been slowly but surely dumbing down the Elder Scrolls. And that's not cool. That's not going to do it for me. So, you know, let's talk about graphics. If graphics are an issue for you, you know, I think from what I'm showcasing, that isn't an issue anymore for Morrowind. You know, I have several animations. Let me show you my different animations. Obviously, I have a running animation, so I look more natural running. So they have a mod for that. I'll share that in the description. There's also a skeletal mod, because, you know, uh-oh, something's attacking me. Oh no, it's an elite! Quick! Oh man! Quick, jump! Oh, that didn't work. Oh, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was. Anyway, so, you know, Morrowind's skeletal animation, the arms are, like, not long enough, normally. And so there is an animation, or replacer for the anatomical structure of the figures, which I would recommend. And then also, as you'll notice, my sword swinging animation is different. So, like, in vanilla Morrowind, when you sidestep, the sword comes from the right and then slashes towards the left. But my mod, you can see my sword comes across my chest from the left and then swings to the right. So that just, you know, it looks more believable and real to me. My it doesn't affect dual-wielded weapons. So, you know, obviously for double-wielded weapons, you know, we start from the right side and it swings to the left. But what Oblivion did do good is that you had sort of added swing animations to the weapons, which was cool. And I feel like it was a cool attempt, but it fell short because the animation was too quick, and I thought that it looked like you're just swinging around like a rag doll or something. And then when you hit an NPC or an opponent, they kind of like slide across the ground like they're ice skating or something, and it looks weird. Skyrim did a better job of all that. You know, there's some combinations and things like that. But to me, all that's kind of like icing on the cake. Morrowind has the cake. I'd rather play a game that has maybe not as good graphics, but arguably, I would say that Morrowind has better graphics. In my opinion, modded Morrowind definitely has better graphics than vanilla Oblivion, and arguably even modded Oblivion. Maybe even, actually, I would say modded Morrowind has better graphics than, dare I say, vanilla Skyrim. Now, why do I believe that? Because for me, oh god, stupid rat. For me, graphics has nothing to do, well, I shouldn't say it has nothing to do, but it's not about, let me get out of this sandstorm. It's not just about texture quality. It's also about creative and artistic quality. So, you know, some games out there have like insane detail and things like that, like, but Morrowind, you know, especially modern Morrowind brings that to the table, but it still retains this sort of like retro feel to it that I really like. And there is an artistic quality to it. Now, what do I mean by artistic quality? Well, so let's think about this. Let's talk about art in general. You know, there's hyper real art that like looks like crazy real, and there's a place for that. You know, paintings or drawings, or you've seen people who draw things and they look really good, and it's like, whoa, that looks like a photograph. That's great. But there's also art like, you know, Impressionism or Post-Impressionism or Cubism, or there's like so many different like art styles. And, you know, a world that has artistic quality, like colors, richness, creativity, Morrowind has that, especially creativity. Creativity went down the crapshoot in the later Elder Scrolls games. For example, look at the creatures in Morrowind. Like, I just killed a winged Twilight. What the heck even is that? Nyx hounds, cliff racers, like, look at silt striders. Like, what is that? I've never even seen that before. That, you know, giant mushroom landscapes, and I mean, it's just phenomenal. Like the level of creativity was top level in Morrowind, and then it just like went to right down the chute with the later games. Like, what are the animals in Oblivion? Bears, wolves? Gee, Bethesda, like, could you put like forth any less effort? So anyway, let me stop my tirade. This is Molag Mar, and it's a mod. It's sort of like, again, like I've mentioned before, I like the steampunk kind of wasteland theme of Morrowind, futuristic, and this ruined Molag Mar kind of fits in with that. I like these cages, you know, these broken stones and things like that. Boat back there. Let me walk around and show you the inside of Molag Mar. I want to, you know, it's cool because it's like slightly different than the generic Vivek architecture. It's very similar, obviously, but it has its own unique flair. So let's go inside. It's the roof. There's two options for the roof in this mod. One where the roof isn't broken like this, but I picked the one that was broken because, you know, just it looks cool. So anyway, if you have any qualms or questions or, you know, issues with playing Morrowind, you shouldn't. For me, the only thing that I'm looking forward to that I hope someone does for Morrowind is create a dual-wield animation mod so that you can cast magic while you swing your weapon. That's what I want. That's about it. But, you know, I don't miss Oblivion's combat animations. They look weird. And the whole ice skating thing, like, what even is that? I'm just not, like, it just looks weird. I'm sorry. Skyrim does a better job, obviously, but at the end of the day, what else did the later games take away from the Elder Scrolls? Like, Oblivion retained the leveling system of Morrowind, more or less. It had some nice, like, bonuses, like, you know, jumping on the surfaces of water. That was like an acrobatics perk. If you mastered acrobatics, like, you had like perks every time you mastered a skill. But, you know, leveling with your skills and your attributes, and, you know, min-maxing your character out, which I have done at level 73 more or less. You can't really do that in Skyrim. Like, what is that? When I learned that they took that whole feature away, that's the reason why I didn't even play Skyrim. They have a mod that kind of like brings that back a little bit. It's not exactly as in-depth as Morrowind or Oblivion's, but you know, it's something, I guess. And I was just kind of like let down by that. But this is a nice, I don't even remember what mod this is. A lot of my mods I'm still exploring myself and finding. This is a nice little you know, fishing village mod that's quaint. And again, for me, the graphics are good enough. The water looks great. Is the surface detail and realism there compared to other games? Well, probably not, but the artistic quality, look at the mountains, the mushroom trees, look at the richness of the colors. That's just as important to me, like when it comes to graphics. Like, graphics is not just a game's ability to render realism. Just like art's not, you know, solely based on its ability to render realism. There are other components to creating a immersive, believable, and enjoyable game. And Morrowind kind of like is the middleman between that. An extreme example would be like Batman Arkham Asylum or something like that game's graphics are so crazy you can't even play that game for more than an hour without getting a headache. Like, what's the point of like making your graphics better if you can't even play it for extended periods of time, like me? This is another mesh conflict that I wanted to show you guys. Like, this is another example. This is one that I haven't figured out either myself, but stuff like this can happen. This is like sort of lone bridge by itself, and it's like, I don't know where it came from. I haven't figured that one out yet. But see, that's what can happen when you load things in the wrong order. But again, even you can change out your mods, the load order, by just putting it below the other mod that you figure out it's conflicting with mid playthrough, and it'll fix it. There's no issues. Let me COC to Ghostgate to show you the RR Ghostgate mod, because I told you I would. And this is the Ghostgate mod. Completely different Ghostgate. Really cool looking. They have a ghost fence mod, but I didn't change that. I like it the way it is. It's fine. So anyway, all right. Well, I think I've talked long enough. I just wanted to give you some examples of how and why you need to address load order in your games, because that's something, again, that I'm going to pursue with these videos and this channel. Things like that, like actually helping you guys mod so you can make your game playable again, and in a competing with modern day video game world with all these like heightened graphics and gameplays. But Morrowind is the greatest story ever told in a video game, and that's more important to me. And graphics are important, but it's secondary. So all right, well, with that, I'm going to leave you with that, and if you have any questions, just drop a little comment in there. I'd be happy to answer it for you. Check out my my description, because in there I'll put all the mods that were showcased in this video. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.